The next step in our rear suspension upgrade here is going to be adding some bump stops. So the first order of business was to cut off the old bump stops, which 15 minutes in a grinder, not too bad. I made up a template here for the bracket I'm going to be making, and that's going to slide right onto the frame rail right there. One thing that's complicating this a little bit is the fact that the frame dips down right here, right where the bump stop needs to be. So it's not going to be a straight shot, so I'm going to have to vary the height of these brackets. And so we'll get these cut out, get them bent up so we have a little strength there, and start welding these things together and see how she turns out. Okay, we've got a few of these bump stop brackets cut out, and I want to show you how it's going to fit together on the frame. So this piece will fit right on here like this, and then our bump stop will be mounted to the bottom of this thick-walled square tubing. And that'll fit right in there like that, with another bracket right in here, sandwiching it in there. So, gonna finish making the frame side bracket here, and then we'll get this set up. We'll cycle the suspension one more time and see exactly where this needs to be.
You may be thinking, with a 6-inch lift, why do I need longer bump stops? The suspension is not going to come up high enough to contact anything on the bottom of the truck. The thing is, bump stops are there to protect the springs as well. If your springs are allowed to go to a negative arc, they can be damaged. The bump stop height is set to prevent this and increase the life of your springs.
Okay, I got all the bracket pieces cut for the frame side mount for these bump stop brackets, and started mocking it together, and it just wasn't looking as good as I'd hoped. Probably would have been plenty strong enough, but I didn't like the way it was looking with the square tubing. So, square tubing out, round tubing in. Might give us the benefit of the brackets being usable for if I ever decide to go to air bumps. So, you know, fingers crossed for that. I've decided I'm going to take these and put a 30-degree bend in them, and that will work better with the tubing anyway. It's going to add a lot more strength to the bracket, and hey, it'll look cooler. So on to making some bends. I've got the bracket pieces all bent up here. Press brake would have been better, but heat works since that's what I've got. Okay. Over here, I went ahead and mocked up a couple of the pieces, so you can see how that's going to fit together. And we've got our trusty bump stop here. That'll fit right on the bottom there. I think that's going to look a lot better. All right, we've got all our bracket pieces built and bent up and tacked together with our tube that's going to be mounting our bump stop, and got it over here fitted on the frame, and I've got a mounting plate bolted in place on the top here, top of the frame rail, so that you can see exactly how this is going to bolt together. So we've got to get that tacked together, then we'll pull this off, put it over on the bench, get this fully welded up, and cycle our suspension. Okay, we've got our bump stop in place here. It's all tacked together, proven that it'll fit. So, time to take this over here and get it all welded up. We've got the rest of our pieces all cut, so we're ready to put it all together. Let's get some welding done. All right, here's our passenger side bump stop, fully welded and bolted in place. Looks like it turned out pretty strong. It's going to do what we need it to do. If you've taken a look at the bump stop, I've got it designed to hit the top of the spring plate right here. And it may look like it's misaligned here, but as the suspension compresses, it's going to move back up at this direction, and it hits perfectly on that bump stop. Perfect. Both bump stops are in, fully welded, bolted in place, suspension cycled, everything's working perfectly. Now we just got to pull it apart, paint it, put the springs back together, and this rear suspension is going to be done.
Hey guys, if you like what you see, subscribe to Uinta Garage, hit the bell to get notifications, like our channel, and share it with all your friends.